I used to channel frustration into anger, and then my anger just turned into rage. And it didn't exactly help that I didn't have that many friends. I was feeling depressed about things in my life.
I found out I have dyslexia. No matter how hard I try, I'd still be put down. My dad left for my mum's best friend. I watched one of the boys from school die, and he looked to me, and it was so hard.
Hi, my name's Daniel, I'm 15. I joined SFK when I was 13.
Hi, I'm Amy. When I first started SFK, I was 13.
The pressures we feel around here in this community mainly is drugs and gang wars. They always try and get other people involved that don't even want to know them. I was actually quite afraid of them. And it didn't exactly help that I didn't have that many friends. I was feeling depressed about things in my life. My room was a little sanctuary because I thought everything was just so scary. I couldn't actually handle anything. I only really had one friend. When he moved away, I just didn't talk to anyone.
4 years ago now, or just under 4 years, my dad left my mum for my mum's best friend. And also I was in the same class at school as the lady's daughter, and we didn't get along very well as it was. I would argue with people, I'd throw things, I'd get angry, I'd get upset.
Me and my sister had a sibling rivalry which was quite intense. I did used to beat her up. I mean, there has been some indents on my wall before where I've hit her so hard, that I'm not really proud of.
No matter how hard I try, I'd still be put down for my spelling and my reading, and it really got to me because it was something I was trying so hard at. The boys in class and stuff started calling me stupid. One of the boys, he was hitting me and kicking me and things. And instead of my friends stopping him, they were watching, and my sister included was sitting there laughing and clapping and cheering him on, and people who I thought were my friends and people who I trusted and people who I would have looked out for if that was happening to them. And that was really hard to think that people I was that close to would let something like that happen to me.
As I was younger, my mum and dad had a divorce. After that, I was quite angry at everyone. I did find it hard to connect with people. I thought everyone was against me. It was my fault for letting things happen to me.
I went downstairs, and one of the boys' friends, who I knew pretty well, was leaning against the wall, and then he was on the floor, and there was lots of blood and things, and I found out that he'd been stabbed. I watched him die, and he looked to me, and it was so hard. I always had SFK to go back to have that family.
Life for Daniel before SFK was pretty horrendous, so there was a lot of animosity in the house.
I joined because there was a lot of things that was happening. I wasn't a very confident, outgoing, outspoken person.
If I didn't find or get involved with SFK, I believe that my depression would have become even worse, and I possibly couldn't be living right now. So I believe that SFK may have saved me.
There is no reactive behaviour. Amy's very grown up, sensible.
After a few weeks of doing SFK, he'd come home from school. He's like, "Hi Mum," he's all happy and all of a sudden a great big hug. I didn't want to let go, and I'm like, "Can I breathe, please? Let me breathe." I wanted to cry. But it was such a miraculous change within 2 weeks of doing it.
It helped me to control the anger and the sadness and stuff inside.
With SFK, he's grown up really fast.
That change, I guess, was mainly emotional, because my emotions used to take control of me more often.
I realised that my actions weren't just affecting me and my dad, it was affecting the whole of the family.
So I thought, If I stopped doing all these negative things towards everyone, maybe my life will get better. I found I became more of a caring person since then.
And then he's carried it on. Every day after school, hi Mum, big hug.
And I realised that, okay, bad stuff's happened. It's happened for a reason. I've learnt from it. Let's move on.
He's such a happy child. The love in him is flowing, whereas before I couldn't get a word out of him.
I thought the world was nothing, it was just one big game. But now the game has now got rules and it's now conditioned, and I understand how the conditions work.
People ask me, is Daniel on something? Is he taking some sort of drug? And I'm like, no, he wouldn't even dream of that. Well then why is he so happy? I said, well, he's happy with life, he's happy with the life we've got now.
It helped me go through all the pain and the sorrow that I had in my past. Then it helped me become more confident again.
She is very confident. She'll have a go at anything.
I'm now in a performing arts group. I love being on stage, and I've just been accepted into college to go on an animal care course. I never ever would have thought 3-4 years ago that I would have stood up in front of a conference full of councillors and MPs and important people.
And she's got aims in life that she will fulfil, and I think the skills that she's been taught have led to her leading that life.
Daniel, thankfully, has chosen his path, which is a very good one.
We talk about things more, whereas before we would react, and it would just be one reaction from myself, from the children, backwards and forwards, and we don't solve the problem.
I found that SFK helped me to tune in with friends. As I joined SFK, I found it was easier to talk to them, found it easier to connect to them.
What the children had learned at this young age was something that I hadn't perhaps picked up on, and I was 40.
And the tools I've been taught I use in my everyday life.
So SFK, through Amy, has taught me a lot.
And I'm hoping that perhaps in future he could teach other people, because I think he would do a very good job at it.
I love to share what I've learnt and how I am now as a person, and give it to them so they can do the same, hopefully, with other people.
I have a life, I can live now.
SFK has just been fantastic, because I really don't think I could be sitting here without SFK, because it's helped me so much.